campaigns against unethical baby milk formulas, and this is being advertised very unethically in the South African space. Nutrition manager at UNICEF South Africa will be talking to us. He is Gilbert Tshitaudzi, and I'm very pleased to welcome him to the program this morning. A very good morning to you, Gilbert. Welcome to the program.
Okay, good morning to you and to your viewers. Thank you very much for inviting the United Nations Children's Fund.
It's an absolute pleasure. Absolute pleasure having you here. So we are going to go into the nitty-gritty of this situation, but let's understand, when were you alerted to the fact that there are these type of practices going on in South Africa? And what worries me even more is we've picked up the issue around baby milk formula. Surely it goes way, way beyond that. And I kind of wonder how safe are certain or most products for South Africans to consume. I'm talking pre-packaged, I'm talking canned, frozen, etc., etc. But and I'm kind of wondering, what's your response to that? Is there cause for concern?
Well, I think from the marketing point of view, yes, there is a point of concern. But in terms of really the safety, I think, which is really, your second question, all these products have to meet certain standards in terms of really the manufacturing and in the environment that they are manufactured under, which I believe by and large I think most of them do meet the minimum standards as required by the legislators, in this case government. But I think really the focus for us is really on the marketing, the inappropriate promotion of formula milk, which negatively impacts breastfeeding practices, which we know that it is really it's supposed to be the norm, but that has been eroded over a number of years, wherein we see formula feeding becomes really the norm, replacing what is supposed to be the natural way.
The natural way.
Our babies, yes.
Absolutely. And let me add something to that as well. As Muslims, we Muslim women are guided by the Sharia that we should breastfeed our babies up to 24 months. And basically, if we look at the global population, that is really the cutoff time when kids or 2-year-olds then graduate onto solid feeds. And then the other issue that comes into play here is the cost factor. We have a huge number of teenage pregnancies and teenagers bringing up babies. And if they don't want to breastfeed their babies, I kind of worry about the cost to them, to their parents, and society at large for wanting to formula feed their baby. But having said that, I'm sure you'll respond to my concerns throughout the interview. Your role at UNICEF, and how does it relate to the current discussion at hand? And that, of course, is infant nutrition and breastfeeding promotion.
It is an important area for us, an important area of work. You may realize that if we just look at, if we were to start really with the situation, the current situation, our exclusive breastfeeding rates in South Africa stand at 22%. It was 32% in 2016. Now it has gone down to 22%. So this is an area of serious concern. And we know that the foundation is very important and critical for all children in South Africa. So linking it very well to your concern of teenage pregnancies. Yes, we have a crisis in this country. We have a problem of teenage pregnancies. Of course, when these children are born, some of them are left with in the care of caregivers. In this case, where I mean the grannies, some of them, don't even know how to really, I mean, interact and feed, these children. So what we have seen on the other side, we have also seen the increased rates of malnutrition. In this case, the severe form of malnutrition. You may recall that, I mean, sometimes last year there were media coverage, especially in provinces like the Eastern Cape, where, children were dying of severe acute malnutrition, for the simple reason that the foundation is not right. Most of them are not well fed. In certain instances, as you have alluded to, infant formula it's not cheap. It is expensive, so it requires money, and we know that most of these families maybe come from, I mean, very poor backgrounds where they cannot even afford to buy formula. So what happens? They will make sure that, I mean, that tin of formula that they have stretches for a bit longer. So what will they do? They will dilute it. Some of them don't even have, I mean, it's prepared under a very unhygienic condition, which may lead to diarrhea, and then diarrhea may even cause, I mean, more illnesses to these children, which in this case, they may end up being severely malnourished, and some of them really end up succumbing to some of these conditions. So all these things are really, are very much interrelated, and they are really a point of serious concern to all of us. We know that there may be a need really for formula for those children who may need really infant formula, where in certain instances, I mean, they can be breastfed. But what we are saying is that, the promotion of this, infant formula has to be done in such a manner that it does not undermine breastfeeding. I think that is really the key message that we're trying to drive, and also that the information that is provided to caregivers and to families has to be based on evidence. It shouldn't really be promoting one solution over the other at the expense of really of the norm, which is in this case is supposed to be breastfeeding. That is really the key message that we want to drive.
So, what are the key findings from the World Health Organization and UNICEF reporting on unethical baby milk advertising? And I should imagine the key word here being advertising, that you find most concerning in the South African context. And when you look at the South African context and compare it with possibly first world countries, what is the differentials there? What are we seeing?
What the report found was that, I mean, the use of social media platforms. It's one of those areas that are being used by the formula milk industry to promote these products. And of particular concern is that these are very, very targeted information, targeted messages, which are really targeted to mothers and caregivers. At times, really during the hour of need, some of these messages are targeted, during the night when mothers are defenseless and they just need a solution. In certain instances, the mother is confronted with this child who's just crying. They don't know what to do, and then those messages are just targeted. They appear there as solutions, and in certain instances, you find that these messages are promoting, bottle feeding. They say bottle-fed babies sleep better compared to breastfeeding. And in certain instances, there's also the promotion of these premium products. What we have seen is that, I mean, your normal child behavior, like for example, a child communicates with the caregiver and the mother through crying. But we find that, I mean, that behavior has been medicalized. It has got a solution. So if your child cries a lot, now there is a product that deals with that. If a child has colic, there's a product that deals with colic. A child with diarrhea, there's a product that deals with that is supposed to be dealing with that problem. And these products are really promoted as premium brands to ordinary caregivers. And when you look at the nutritional composition of these products, they're all the same. There's no difference. The only difference is the price, because when the product comes as premium, it comes with a price. And this really just add, additional cost to caregivers and mothers. And these products are simply not necessary. We've also seen another trend of this, the toddler's milk. For children maybe over the age of a year or 2 years, they've really become a norm there, and they're being promoted left, right, and center to caregivers. And these products are not necessary. Children at that age, they can consume, your ordinary, cow's milk, which, it's even cheaper compared to these products. And they are really promoted aggressively to caregivers and mothers, so that they can, displace what children should be eating at that stage. This is really a concern. But also, you may be aware, if some time, last year, there was a report that was released at an international level, trying to compare, especially the commercial foods in South Africa that are marketed to children in developing countries compared to those that are marketed in developed countries. Our products were found to be having very high levels of sugar compared to products that in developed countries, which I think is also a point of serious concern for all of us, and we should be concerned about this really as a community and also the population at large.
That brings us also to the question regarding the sugar tax. Government a little while ago was concerned about the obesity levels in South Africa and concerned about the high levels of sugar being consumed by us as a community that is in South Africa. And despite that, you've just indicated that all of these products do, in fact, contain lots of additional sugar, which is harmful for the growth of that child. At a later stage, the child could end up developing all sorts of different illnesses. So that too needs to be questioned and queried. And at the time, the government decided to address that issue by introducing a sugar tax. So we are between a rock and really we're in a very invidious situation here. But before you respond to that, let's go for an ad break.
Important meal of the day, yet many children go to school hungry because of poverty. Penny Appeal South Africa's Breakfast Club aims to get a warm, hearty meal to underprivileged children so they can spend their day prospering in their schoolwork. Help feed a needy learner for only 5 Rand a day or 150 Rand a month. Or visit our website www.pennyappeal.org.za or call 031 1100 573 to find out how you can donate. Penny Appeal South Africa. Small change, big difference. When the perfect blend of stylish decor, exquisite halal cuisine, and warm hospitality come together, it could only mean Albeit Lodge, your true home away from home. Albeit is the ideal heaven for families, business people, and tourists with its 4-star family rooms and other luxurious facilities, conveniently situated close to Port Elizabeth Airport, the beach, and other amenities. Your stay will be truly unforgettable, as you'll be taking home lasting memories of the warm hospitality, the serenity and tranquility that Albeit has to offer. For reservations, call 041 583 6415 or visit www.albeitlodge.co.za.
Yasin Badat Financial Advisory. Are your financial goals feeling out of reach? Yasin Badat Financial Advisory is here to turn your aspirations into achievements. Our dedicated team, armed with a history of success, is ready to guide you through the complex nature of financial and investment planning. Whether you're a seasoned investor or new to the game, our personalized solutions cater to your unique goals and risk appetite. Trust in our commitment to transparency, integrity, and excellence. Ready to unlock a world of financial freedom? Partner with us today. Call Yasin Badat Financial Advisory at +27333462071 or visit www.yasinbadat.com. Yasin Badat Financial Advisory, guiding you to financial success.
Hey Gulam,
Yeah?
did I return your lawnmower last month?
No, bye, you didn't.
Oh no. Now what'll I do? I wanted to borrow it again, man.
With Randry Jewelers, you won't have to borrow or lend because the prices are so well trimmed on all gold and diamond jewelry. Alternatively, we could remake your old jewelry into a brilliant new design. Visit Randry Jewelers at 151 Stevens Lamini Road, Musgrave, Durban. Randry Jewelers, the family name you can trust.
Abu Huraira narrated that he heard the Prophet Muhammad, may the peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, say, "In black seed there is a healing for every disease except death." Experience the health benefits of this ancient blessed seed by using the Tib Black Seed range. Black seed assists the body to boost immunity, regulate blood sugar levels, reduce inflammation, and act as a potent antioxidant. Experience a holistic approach to health by introducing the Tib Black Seed range into your routine. Available in capsules, pure cold-pressed oil, and a vapor rub. Trust Tib Health Sciences for quality black seed products. For more information, visit blackseed.co.za. Available at leading pharmacies. Make a conscious choice. Sip for change and support Palestine Drinks Africa. With every can, you help end the genocide and stand in solidarity with Palestine. Choose between our original or sugar-free options, available in a case of 24. Every sip is a step towards justice. Every purchase, a powerful message of unity and support for the Palestinian cause. Contact 082-888-1440 or 082-7739-556 today and be part of the change. Palestine Drinks Africa. Sip for change. Liberty for everyone.
Rejuvenating media day by day. This is Salam Media.
$11:22. I'm talking with Gilbert Tshitaudzi. He's the national manager at UNICEF. We are looking at the warning by World Health Organization and UNICEF to parents about unethical baby milk advertising here in South Africa, and I have no doubt in my mind in the rest of Africa. Welcome back, Gilbert. Is there legislation or guidelines currently in South Africa to regulate infant formula marketing? And would you say, if there is, are they being effectively enforced?
Yeah, there are regulations that were promulgated in 2012. And they've really made a meaningful contribution. However, there are a lot of loopholes and gaps in those regulations. When they were developed in 2012, the digital marketing, which is very prominent right now from the food industry, was not even there or very minimal. But now we have seen that it has really become, a platform of promoting products. And in this case, the infant formula, the digital marketing has really become a big issue, and it's a serious area of concern for us. The current regulation don't really speak to that, because at that stage it was not an issue. Another gap that we have identified in the existing regulation is the cross promotion of products. You'll find that some of these products are branded, the same, in the same color. A product that is meant for a child of below the age of 6 months, and the product of a child between 6 and 12 months, they have the same color. And these products really confuse mothers. And when you look at the nutritional composition of these products, they are different. So a mother will definitely go and buy a product which is cheaper, and you find that that product does not necessarily, provide all the nutritional requirements for the child. That is also another area of concern. And of course, the monitoring and the enforcement is always a challenge. The formula milk industry will always find loopholes and find all these gaps and exploit these gaps to their own benefit. So there is a need really to strengthen some of the provision in the current regulations, and also the close contact of the formula milk industry with healthcare providers, because these are the frontline workers who are always engaging with mothers on a daily basis. There are a lot of loopholes that the formula milk industry is using that loophole in the regulation to really utilize the service of frontline workers, in this case the healthcare providers, so that they become really the extension of their promotional activities, wherein they provide advice to mothers in terms of which products to use. And this is being really used across the board, even to those mothers who don't necessarily need this product. So these are some of the issues and of course there is a need to strengthen the enforcement and monitoring of these current regulations. But I think that one of the priorities is, one, is to update the existing regulation. Number two is also really to strengthen the enforcement of the existing regulations.
What is UNICEF South Africa doing to counter these unethical practices and support breastfeeding amongst mothers?
There are a number of initiatives that we're involved in. We also support, government initiatives. In this case, you may be aware that there's also a World Breastfeeding Week every year, where we support. It's coming from the 1st of the 7th of August. We continually support. That initiative, because it's also one of those initiatives that really conscientize and remind South Africans and the public at large about the importance of breastfeeding. But we also need to ensure that it is also protected through policies and legislative means, ensuring that all the policies that are supposed to be there are there, and also mothers are supported, whether they are working or not in different settings. So these are some of the initiatives that we were always promoting and supporting as the United Nations Children's Fund in South Africa.
You alluded to healthcare workers, frontline healthcare workers, particularly in this case, I should imagine clinic sisters. And I think that's a very important point, because if we can educate and create awareness amongst that sector of the community, because all mothers and caregivers have to take babies and toddlers for their regular checkups at the clinics and for their different vaccinations. And I think that would be the right point of contact. And if UNICEF, together with the South African government, can target those people to create the awareness and promote breastfeeding, then I think we're headed in the right direction. And I know it's no mean feat. It's a lot of hard work and awareness that needs to be created there. So I hope, UNICEF will be applying their mind to this particular campaign, and that would be your starting point. But having said that, and in wrapping up, what's the message you want to send to parents, healthcare professionals, and policymakers in South Africa regarding this issue? And it is a serious issue, because I don't think we're applying our minds beyond the child, beyond 2 or 3 years of the child's life. Once the child is off the bottle or the breast, moms, specifically young moms and caregivers, think, well, now my job is done. I don't have to worry about that particular problem regarding the feeding of the child.
I think really to policymakers, I think the message that we want to pass across is that they need to invest in policies and programs that support infant feeding. In this case, I mean breastfeeding. And also our request and the plea to the formula milk industry is that they need to publicly commit to the full compliance of the International Code of Breast Milk Substitutes, which was promulgated in 1981. But in the South African context, we have got the regulations relating to foodstuffs for infants and young children, which are commonly known as the R991. We want them to fully comply and commit to those regulations. But also to healthcare workers, we're calling upon to our healthcare workers to resist, accepting sponsorships, scholarships, awards, grants, meetings in any form, events from companies that market foods for infants and young child and young children. So in this case, you'll be showcasing really their support for what needs to happen, to what is right, and by doing this will really ensure that we improve infant and young child nutrition in South Africa. So we are also still calling upon the policymakers to ensure that they strengthen the monitoring and the enforcement of laws to prevent the promotion of infant formula in line with the code and also in line with the existing regulations.
Thank you indeed. That, of course, is Gilbert Tshitaudzi, the nutrition manager at UNICEF in South Africa, calling out formula milk producers in South Africa for their unethical baby milk advertising. And we say it again, that breast feeding is the best way to go. Up to 2 years of your child's age or your baby's age, it is economical, it is safe, and you're going to have a healthier baby on your hands. And a plus for the mommies out there, it's been proven medically that if you breastfeed, you will lose all that pregnancy fat sooner rather than later. So it's in your interest as well to breastfeed your babies. Thank you indeed for your time. Go well and God bless.
Thank you very much for inviting the United Nations Children's Fund. Thank you.
Wonderful having you here. God bless. It is 11:31. We're moving along on the mid-morning show. And next we are going to be talking with author and translator, founder of the South African Translation Bureau of Islamic Literature. And that, of course, is Brother Yusuf Ntsane Motlaung.